Yesterday was really hard, 9 miles, almost 3,000 feet of climbing. Today's a nice, long, easy day. I am headed up the canyon. I just came from home.
It's just me.
Yeah, cool, same here. A lot of you guys know I use heart rate and watts a lot for workouts. Speed on the road, very structured philosophy, but there's also times where I have my athletes run by feel, and just kind of the common vernacular for their workout is, hey, just go have fun, run as you feel, don't force anything. And so that's my run today. I'm tired, but I need to get a long run in on tired legs. That's the purpose. So I'm just self-regulating myself. I'm watching my heart rate. I'm walking when I think I need to. Hey, come on. How's it going?
Hey, good.
Just passed 2 climbers saying they came from a little climbing crag here. Right here it is. Let's go check it out. Yeah, they even got bolted in. It's a couple bolts for some sport climbing. Sport climbing's hard to find in Jackson because all our rock are so young and brittle. So this is a local spot. Okay, I'm on a faster section. Just got finished with the big climb in Wilson Canyon, which is pretty technical, and got 1,000 feet of climbing in so far. And we got a down tree. That's new. Mentioned just in yesterday's video, I was climbing really steep grade terrain, and today's a little bit more what I would call naturally runnable. And what climbing very steep grade when you normally maybe hike really helps your cadence on days like today. So now I'm tired, but I'm on really a lot faster terrain, and even though I'm tired, my faster cadence feels a lot better. It's almost like yesterday I slipped the batting ring on of the baseball bat and swung the bat really heavy into waiting to bat. Now today I take the weight off and I'm ready to roll. So don't always, if you're an ultra marathoner, don't always go to a hike in very steep terrain. Sometimes you got to run it. One sign of fitness really starting to come around is the ability to perform when you're tired. And I really try to get my athletes to be aware of this, and I kind of cue it in their workouts as they get later into their season and maybe later in their base building phase, where, hey, yes, you're tired, but 2 things start to happen when you start getting really fit. Is that even though you're tired, you're able to perform and be strong, versus too tired and you have to back off. And secondly, you start to feel better and better as you run. Like today, I started out, I was like, woo, I'm tired. And now I'm starting to get into a groove. I was really patient with my warm-up, and now I feel really good. My legs are coming around. So it's a good sign for my fitness. Versus, as you get into the run, you just start getting run down and more tired, which tends to happen early in base building when your body's still kind of trying to adapt. Wildflowers are popping. Man, it just turned into a beautiful day. I was not expecting this at all, hence the the 3/4 tights. I was expecting to get drenched, and it's just beautiful. A little humid, but beautiful. It's gonna be a great shot of the range behind me. This is how I'm gonna go home. You can see this high peak right here. Just on the other side of that is home. So I'm gonna follow this ridge right up and go right down the back side of that on my way home. I came in this way, up the canyon this way. So I'm going to kind of do an out and back here and then circle back and then loop it back up that ridge into home. So what a glorious day. I promised many of you that I would do a video on IT band syndrome. You feel it right in here. And it's the band that runs from your hip all the way down the outside of the quad and attaches to your knee. And this usually comes about through two kind of root causes. One, overstriding. In yesterday's video, we did downhill running, the art of downhill, and that's a big culprit. So go back to yesterday's video, watch the downhill stuff so you really start to understand foot strike placement and how important that is for downhill running and how important it is for IT band issues. And secondly, it can come from poor utilage of our feet. And that could be either foot strength or shoes. If you're running in big pillowy shoes where you're not able to stabilize with your foot, that puts a lot of torque on the knee and a lot of stress on the quad and the IT band. And so for those of you who have my book, do keep doing the foot strength program in the book, because that's going to be your best preventative. Okay, if you have already have IT band issues, it tends to fester, as you know. So what you want to do is you want to not take time off necessarily unless you're really hobbled. Obviously, you have to be intuitive there and be your own self-coach. But if it's just a pesky, persistent pain, time off usually doesn't make it better. It just tightens things up more. So with that, you don't necessarily want to stop running altogether. What you want to do is go to 10 to 15 minutes of running, focusing on this diagnostic. Is it your feet and your shoes, or is it overstriding, or is it both? And again, going back to the overstriding part, is where that becomes debilitating, is that overstriding places all the stress on your quads and does not utilize or activate the glute and the posterior in the way we need it to stabilize your body and also to take stress off the quad. And so it's that stress to the quad and the IT that gets tight and causes the pain. So we don't necessarily want to take time off running. Like I said, we want to go maybe 10 to 15 minutes, but maybe you're going to a grassy area where you can do some barefoot running. Very nice and easy. So you're working on your form, working on your foot placement, working on your foot strike, working on your foot strength, and trying to create some equilibrium within your body to help the glutes activate, to help everything work as one unit to start taking stress off of the quad and the IT. And what you also don't want to do is you don't want to use a foam roller on the IT band itself. That's just going to irritate it. You can try rolling the quads, and because they're tight as well, but those are more just kind of breaking up the fascia and really breaking up the tightness in the quads. And I think that's okay, but don't roll the IT. That's just going to keep it pissed off. Okay, you want to get it to relax. Okay, and so reducing your time running is going to really help, especially if you fall in this category of overstriding or foot shoe issues. Okay, you definitely want to back off on the volume that you're doing to take care of the problem. So go to 10 to 15 minutes of barefoot running or a very minimal shoe to help start strengthening. We can use running to strengthen the body. And shortening your stride, landing underneath you, using your feet as stabilizers to stabilize everything, to activate everything, is what's going to start transforming you from being quad dominant to utilizing your body as one unit, taking stress off the IT. Okay? So, back off, but don't stop running. Go to 10 to 15 minutes of frequent running. You can do this 10 to 15 minutes almost every day, but the reason I say keep it to 10 to 15 minutes, because a lot of you know that that's usually about the time you start to feel your IT band flare up in your run. It's usually a mile or so in that it starts to hurt. So by going 10 to 15 minutes, we're trying to keep it at bay as you're starting to strengthen. Okay? And then at the end of this video, I'm going to attach another video of an exercise that I've developed that really tends to help strengthen the whole body as a unit. Again, going back to utilizing and activating the glute in a functional pattern to running that takes stress off the quads and starts training the brain to move how we want to move as we run. And more importantly, start to activate and fire the certain muscles that are dormant and why you're quad dominant. Okay, so see that at the end of this video, try that out, and this is an exercise that you want to, I tell my athletes, learn to perfect it, learn to perform it, don't just rep it out. It takes a lot of awareness, okay, and we're training the brain to utilize muscles differently. So you might get frustrated at first. That's why I say learn to perform it and not just rep it out and have no awareness whatsoever of how you're moving. Do it in front of a mirror. Okay, that'll show you how well you're doing it and get better through time. Okay, and really watch the video so you really understand the movement mechanics so you're doing it properly. Okay, so, all right, so have at it. Again, throw me your questions if this is helping. We had a lot of questions, or a lot of comments on how the runner's knee video really helped people. How simple things like this can really go a long way. But you've got to understand what's going on so you can then troubleshoot it for yourself, and then, more importantly, put things into play. And everybody likes to think they have a special ailment, okay? But the body's meant to work one way. So this usually will take care of a lot of the IT trouble. Okay, we just got to redistribute how you're using your body, take stress off of one area and put it to the other so it becomes equal. Okay, so again, fire questions away, but then let us know how it's helping, so people read those comments and they get motivated by that, and it's good to hear success stories so other people are motivated to do it, because this is stuff that maybe is not necessarily always fun to do, or if backing off on your running to go run barefoot for 10 minutes. Okay, but you've got to understand how it's really going to help. All right, so all right, I'm headed home, and I hope that's really super helpful, because I had IT band trouble. Man, I can't do quick math. 25 years ago, the one and only time I had it, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it made me, one, realize a lot of times it's the shoes. I went to the shoe store, and my decision was a more low to the ground shoe versus a really comfortable shoe, a comfortable feeling shoe at the store. And when I ran, the low to the ground shoe felt better, but when I sat in the store, the cushion shoe felt better. And not being very knowledgeable 25 years ago, I picked the cushion shoe, went out, 2 days later I had IT band trouble. So that helped me diagnose this, that a lot of times it's the shoes which are causing us to lose the stability in the shoe, in our feet, and using our toe and our arch as stabilizers to stabilize the knee and then to activate the glute. And that's what we want to have happen. Okay, so a lot of times IT band is a combination of overstriding and poor shoe selection. So, all right, I'll open the floodgates for those questions. This is the off-trail section. Got a little bit of climb that trail hasn't been put in yet. And I'll hook into the trail on the way home. And you can see right there's the canyon that came up this earlier and went out and up into those hills and then came up this way. So a little bit off trail, good for the legs. But I wanted to go back to the IT band issue again. I talked about it being a foot and shoe issue as well as overstriding. And with the foot issue, and where form comes in with this, is that when we pull our stride in and don't overstride and strike the ground underneath us, we're naturally engaging our foot in a stabilized manner. So striking the ground underneath us on our forefoot, then to heel, engages the big toe, engages the arch, which stabilizes the knee and activates the glute. So this is the cycle we want, and how, again, shoes and form and foot strike all get tied in together as one to help with this. So I just wanted to kind of go back and address that. So form, that's where the barefoot comes in. You know, going out for your 10 to 15 minutes barefoot, you're really engaging your feet to create those stabilizers, which is the strength training, okay? Which brings me to another point. Another thing we don't want to do is use thick foam or pillowy type of strength training tools as balancing exercises. We want to use hard surfaces to do our balancing. That's why I use a slant board. Okay, use the slant board for your foot strength program. We want a hard surface just like the ground, because that's training our feet to stabilize. If we use those thick foamed square or rectangle pads and just do balancing exercises, that's doing nothing for our stabilizers. We need a hard surface. Okay, so if you're doing those, look to change that up and use the slant board with the program in the book. And that goes to the pillowy high cushion shoes, same thing. Okay, we lose all awareness of our feet stabilizing with every footfall. And so much can go wrong when we don't get that initial stabilization with our feet. And here's my trail. All right. A little bit faster going now home. One more climb. Okay, we got some pretty incredible light right now, and I'm not so sure if you can see the light reflecting off the Snake River, but way down right at the base of the mountains is the Snake River. Not sure if you can pick that up, but this is actually the first time I've ever been able to see the Snake River with the sun reflecting on it like this. It's unbelievable. Usually you can't see it. It just kind of blends in.